Hello. So it's been about 18 weeks since I transferred the strawberries into their hydroponic buckets. I just like to make an update every time we water. This is only our fourth time watering. We watered at the 5-week, 9, 14, and now the 18-week point. Every about 4 to 5 weeks, even when strawberries are fully grown, they don't drink that much water. So we've already gotten some strawberries off of them, and we're going to go through and get some more off them today to show you. But you can see just one plant can have up to 30 to 50 flowers on it. And they're self-pollinating, so just a light shake is enough for them to pollinate themselves. I've been getting some smaller berries off of them, so I went through and defoliated to get rid of any leaves that were wasting any excess energy and that weren't getting any good light. And we have to do that pretty frequently with the indoor ones. These are the same age as my outdoor ones, and I don't have to prune those ones nearly as often or defoliate them nearly as often because number one, we're in a drought, and number two, we live in the desert and it's 110 degrees out there and the soil is basically clay, and I didn't put the greatest soil down, and also we rent, so that's why I grow a lot indoors. So you can take a little Q-tip and rub it around on the flower because there's only around 20 male parts which surround the outside of it, and there can be 100 to 400 female parts on the inside. So although they're self-pollinating, it can help just to go in there, shake them around a little bit, and touch them with the Q-tip to help them get a little bigger and to defoliate. So we took a short of us defoliating, and we have a long form video coming out soon of us defoliating. And I have a bunch of videos on how to take care of plants in my hydroponic plants playlist on Facebook and on YouTube. If you have a lot of questions, I likely answered them somewhere in there or in a previous update video. So I don't want to repeat myself too much, but I keep them flowering forever, unlike outdoors, by keeping them in a cold climate. So I'll link down below to a research paper from universities done on the optimal light schedule and temperature range for your cultivar to get the maximum amount of flowers out of it. So one thing I could do to help get better, bigger berries as well is remove some of the flowers so that the plant has less yield to focus on. But I'm leaving as many flowers as I can right now. I have grown this cultivar for over 2 years, and I actually have the mother I cloned over 200 times, but I have over 40 of her clones outside, 16 of them here, and over, I think, like 8 of them downstairs, and we still have her alive. So, and she's still producing berries. They usually live 2 to 5 years, and this will shorten their lifespan and make them prone to disease, but they're super easy to clone and replace, and we have videos on that as well. So we started them at 1 EC, around 1.2, because strawberry runners are a little more mature than a seedling, which we like to start seedlings at around 1 EC. That's when they get transferred to the bucket. When they're in their Rockwall cube, that is no nutritional value with just reverse osmosis, fresh water, no nutrient water. They get their first bit of nutrient water when we transfer them to the bucket. So we watered them at the 5-week point, and we brought them up to about 1.6 EC at that point, and used 1 bucket of nutrient water to water them at that point. At the 9-week, we brought them up to about 2.1 and got some flowers on them around there, and have been removing all runners. And at the 14-week point, we brought them up to 2.5 and maintained any of them that were already there. And then same thing at the 18-week point. So I made an entire video of us watering from start to finish at the 14-week point to give you a more in-depth idea of what goes into watering them and getting that EC to 2.5 by balancing it out with nutrient water and fresh water. So I don't want to go through and repeat that for you today. If you're interested in that, that's in the 14-week update. So all the gear that we use, I affiliate for, and I have a link down below on Amazon. And it directly helps out the channel, and you guys have been very supportive of it, so I really appreciate it. And if you hover over in the corner of any of the products, it will tell you a short description of what I use them for. So like I said, we're getting some smaller berries, kind of like this. which are still good. So one thing that's interesting about strawberries is the sugars in them turn to starch as you pick them. So they'll never be quite as fresh as when you get them right off the plant. So some people say like hydroponic plants taste watery, or they're more watery just because they're like in water. That's not necessarily the case. You would like a well-hydrated plant with good access to nutrients. I assure you they taste very sweet. We'll take this one. See, we're getting some smaller berries like these. So some pollinating extra, even though they're self-pollinating, with a brush can help that. Defoliating. They've been very well hydrated, so there's no way that's water, and they have very great nutrients, so I don't believe that's their nutrients. And we've gotten some great berries off them already, and you'll see some of them are coming off pretty full size. This one's nice. So I'm going to go through and pick them all. We're clipping off all runners still, since we don't want them to clone themselves. And then I made an entire separate video on defoliating, since you can see they're still very overcrowded. We haven't removed any crowns. We're letting them have around 4 to 5 or even up to 6 crowns. So yeah, we'll update you with how they go the next time they water at probably around the 22-week point, since even full-grown strawberries don't drink that much water, which is nice because about once a month they need to be watered. Some of them at the 3-week point I needed to give a little bit of fresh water because they drink a little too much. But I don't want to babble on too much and waste too much of your time. So yeah, like you can see, removing some of these flowers may help this plant get bigger, better berries, because this one might even have up to 50 flowers on it. So some people ask, how many berries do you get off of them? Well, it depends. I mean, the size definitely changes the like result that you would try to say, you know. So when we get a bigger size off of them, I mean, 30 to 50 big berries would be incredible, but I expect to have to pick some berries off at an earlier age and defoliate more. I'd be okay with 25 each a month, and then to keep them flowering forever off of that. And yeah, some people ask how much, like, what do we do with all these strawberries? We make our own jelly, freeze them for smoothies, snack on them throughout the day. They're my favorite food, so, and Fetty's favorite food, my wife. So, and they're just really super easy to clone and replace and grow, and they're slightly invasive. So if you grow one outside, like my ones outside are shooting out runners and just growing everywhere. So anyway, I'm going to pause the video so I don't ramble on too long, and I'm just going to go through and pick all these and then show you kind of what we got. This time we used 6 buckets of nutrient water. The 14-week point we used 5 buckets of nutrient water, 9-week point 5 buckets of nutrient water, and at the 4-week point or 5-week point 4 buckets of nutrient water. So we're keeping count, and we'll tally it all up and tell you kind of everything more when we get like a bigger harvest and some more numbers to kind of compare things for people, since I know everyone kind of wants to know like a cost breakdown of things, but I don't necessarily do this to save money, and the equipment lasts forever. It's just a fun hobby and to teach you guys and give you guys options of what plants to grow and how to grow them indoors or in a windowsill. So yeah, and yeah, these look like they're gonna come off pretty nice. But I just like to document this as much as possible in case anyone wants to do this. And yeah, this is something I do as a hobby, and I've learned over the last 3 to 4 years. So I didn't go to school for horticulture or botanist. I'm not a botanist. But this is all just things that I've learned from research papers online and from growing this specific cultivar over the last 2 years. But I grow a bunch of different indoor hydroponic plants as well, if you're interested in those. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys. I see your guys' support and questions and comments, and it means the world to me and Fetty. Look at this string messing with me. Yeah, so I don't know, I just really appreciate you guys. I see your comments, and I try to be as helpful as possible, and I don't know, you guys should know if I've commented back to you or said what's up or anything, so hello. Like awkward. So this is how many we got today. This is about what we get every day to every couple days off them right now. Like you saw, there's still some that are unripe that we'll get tomorrow or the next day. And I'm sure that that's going to change with all these flowers here, that this is going to start to rapidly increase in the amount of berries that we get every day to every couple days. And hopefully that stays consistent, and we'll document that process for you guys. So if you want, I have my hydroponic plants playlist. We have what YouTube thinks is best for you if this is on YouTube. You can subscribe for more. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.